murder, a hitman, and a wonderful sense of dark comedy, let's talk about the Tribeca Film Fest surprise LaRoy. Hey everyone, this is David Stark from Watcher Pass. Today I'm here to talk to you about LaRoy, which debuted at the Tribeca Film Festival in 2023 and has one more screening in that festival on June 17th, 2023. After that, I imagine it will run some more festivals before getting picked up for distribution. I assume later this year. I have no inside information, but the film is fantastic. It is writer-director Shane Atkinson's first directorial debut, and what a debut. It is such a good film. It was such a nice surprise. My hot take, as you can imagine, is I loved it. I thought it was a wonderful blend of dark comedy and tense drama that had a great cast, a wonderful setting, and some really dramatic music. I loved how it kind of, had you holding your breath at times and then just laughing out loud at times with some of the kind of like darkly comedic situations that happened. It was a perfectly kind of tuned balance, and I just adored it. So I'm going to talk to you a little more about the film. A few things I liked, a few things I didn't like. This review is not going to have spoilers just because the film is so far out. But I will come up with a spoiler review later on, maybe in the next festival, maybe when it gets closer to release. I don't know when that'll happen, but I will definitely talk more about this film because it is fantastic. So in LaRoy, you have Ray Jepsen, who is this kind of like mild-mannered loser, if you want to call it that. He's not unsuccessful, but it feels like his life is kind of falling apart. He just discovered that his wife, Stacy Lynn, is having an affair, which doesn't help with his confidence and self-esteem, but a chance encounter leads him to take on the job that he is not qualified for, and that leads to all sorts of dangers and surprises for him and everyone else in LaRoy, Texas, which I should mention is not a real town, although it is kind of based on Shane Atkinson's various places that Shane Atkinson has lived growing up. It is a made-up town, but it feels just like what I imagine a small, like Western Texas town would feel like. So things I liked about this film. The first, it's becoming a trend in movies that I like. I love the music. It has this wonderful, like dramatic country music that kind of sets the stage, really lets you know what type of film this is, where it's set. And then also during some of the more, I don't know, dramatic scenes, some of the more kind of like tense scenes, there was this really beautiful piano style of music that also plays. It really does help to set the tone. The film is kind of understated, and so the music does a good job of both fitting that perfectly and then also helping to up the drama in little places here and there to make you kind of more either tense or nervous, or just kind of like see how beautiful this area actually is. The second thing I love the style and the tone. It has a kind of dark, dramatic style that feels perfect. The town, feels like there are secrets going on. There are other things happening. The film takes place a lot at night. The film has a lot of like, I don't know, criminal or seedier aspects to it that really help to tell the story and tell an interesting story, one that keeps you engaged, and one that the main character is not normally comfortable in, and it's really fun to see how like he interacts with these elements that he is not normally accustomed to. The third thing I loved like the dry, dark comedic style. It is so wonderfully funny at times. It either like strange situations where someone will say something that is funny in a like dark humor, gallows humor kind of way. I love how there will be random ridiculous things that happen when you have something serious happen. One of the main characters, Skip, is this private eye who is constantly being like harassed by the police, but not in like a like abuse kind of way, in a like they constantly are playing like horrible pranks on him because he is a private eye. They don't think he's a real detective, things like that. You'll see them play these pranks and then they'll like laugh at him as they're driving away. It is just a nice like shift from the dark style of the film, and also is just a wonderful kind of like moment of levity. The film, like I said, does a perfect job of balancing kind of the dark drama with these kind of like dry comedic style, and really finds that good balance of having enough drama to make you engaged and want to know what happens, but also having plenty of moments of levity where you can kind of like relax for a second before something else happens. The fourth thing I love the characters. They are all very out there. They're all kind of like perfectly cast. The film just has this wonderful set of individuals that really help to move the story along. Everyone has different interests. Everyone has different kind of priorities, and that helps to tell the story and also really helps to kind of interconnect the plots that happen. Like this film is somewhat of a mystery because they're trying to figure out different things that are happening in this town, and having these characters that feel fleshed out and having very different interests really helps that as well. And the actors do a fantastic job with these characters. They all feel natural, and like stereotypical, but also natural characters that you would have in a West Texas town. The fifth thing I liked, I love the opening. It does a really great job of framing this whole film. It is kind of fitting that perfect balance of dark drama and dark comedy. It is a tense opening, like you are definitely concerned about what's happening, but then there are these moments where you're like chuckling and like you can release your breath before you then are holding it again. I think it's a perfect way to start this. It introduces you to one of the most important characters, and it introduces you to the overall kind of like dramatic feel and gallows humor that is in this movie. And the last thing I love the ending. The ending is fantastic. It really feels like a natural progression from everything that's happening. It ties in a lot of things that have happened to the main character, Roy, and feels like a solid kind of satisfying end to that whole story that is happening. I really thought it was well done. I thought it was fantastic. I really liked seeing the progression and seeing how the various plots unraveled and kind of were solved in this. And I thought it was just a fantastic film. So things I didn't love, there really wasn't anything. I thought it was paced well. I love the characters. I love the actors. I really, really like this movie. It was a big surprise for me. I did not expect to enjoy it as much as I did. So that is LaRoy. It debuted at Tribeca Film Festival. I imagine it'll run the festival circuit. It'll probably hit a few more festivals before getting picked up for distribution and hopefully later this year. Keep an eye out for it. If this sounds like a movie that you are interested in, definitely check it out. It is really, really good. And thanks so much for watching. If you liked this review, please like and subscribe to this channel. It helps me out a lot. Make sure all my new content goes straight to you. Thank you.